The work continues at Morley Cemetery, and today we'll be working on raising the stone for Thomas and Percey Reed, who are buried in Lot 61 of the cemetery. May 15th, back at the cemetery. Hot day, up in the upper 80s, going to get into the 90s. Trying to prepare for Memorial Day coming up, and we have another veteran stone to try to work on today. That would be for Thomas Reed here. So Thomas Reed stone has fallen over in an odd way. It's leaning against its base, and it looks a little big, so it's going to be kind of hefty to lift up there. Now, looking at these views of the Reed Monument as far back as 2004, you can see that it's been in this position for a long time, over 20 years. About the only difference between then and today is that the stone looks like it has sunk a bit further into the ground than it was back then. Thomas Reed was born on March 16, 1844 in England to Thomas and Fanny Reed. He was the second of approximately 4 children. Around 1848, the family emigrated to Canada and later settled in New York State, where his father worked as a laborer. In 1860, when Thomas was 16 years old, his father died. Percy C. Fay was born on May 5, 1845 in Ontario to Israel and Roxana Fay. She was the fifth of what may have been 8 children. On August 16, 1862, while living in Wabash, Indiana, Thomas enlisted in the Union Army. He likely married Percy in 1863 while on leave for military service. During the Civil War, he served in Company K of the 101st Infantry and later in the 2nd New York Heavy Artillery. After nearly 3 years of military service, Thomas was mustered out on June 24, 1865 in Louisville, Kentucky, shortly after the Civil War officially ended. Following the war, Thomas and Percy returned to New York State, where their first 2 children were born. By the time of the 1870 federal census, however, they had moved to a farm near Bell Creek in Washington County, Nebraska. 3 more children were born by 1882, bringing the family to a total of 5 children. By 1885, Thomas, then 41 years old, was farming near Waterloo, Nebraska. He continued to work that farm for several years. Percy died on March 13, 1901, and was buried at Morley Cemetery. Thomas was 56 years old at the time of her death. As Thomas grew older, he likely turned over much of the farm work to his son Robert. By the 1910 federal census, when Thomas was 66 years old, Robert, his wife, and their children were living on the farm with him. What I didn't realize on fixing these spots is how much time would be taken by fixing how they put a base underneath it to begin with. This has got all these chunks of stone they put underneath here that have tilted over time with frost heave or ground settling or whatever. And I got to get those things out before I can make a proper base and probably throw them back in with it. But that slows down the whole repair process. While digging to prepare the new base, I also discovered something that I did not expect. This piece of metal was in the ground with the disc facing up. From my research on the internet, this appears to be a base to which a flag or other medallion could be attached to a veteran's grave. And after that brief interruption, back to the biography. By 1920, when Thomas was 75 years old, he had moved to Shell Creek in Platte County, Nebraska, where he lived with his son Maurice and his family. In 1926, at the age of 82, Thomas moved to Fremont, Nebraska, where he lived in a boarding house. In January 1935, he slipped on an icy street and fractured his hip. His health declined rapidly thereafter, and he died on January 13, 1935, just 2 months short of his 91st birthday. He was buried at Morley Cemetery beside his wife. At this point in the monument restoration, I have both pieces of the stone up and out of the way. I have the base filled in with some crushed limestone chips and ready to start putting the base back in place. So this is getting things ready to put the base back into place. This marker is likely made of Vermont blue dolomite marble. and the base is likely to be around 600 pounds weight. I was not able to weigh it that day because my scale had run out of battery power. The top part, the die, however, I was able to weigh at a later time, and that weighed 575 pounds. The next part of the job involved getting the base aligned properly and then leveled so that it would likely not fall over again for some time. Well, this is as much as I got done working several hours today. Having to dig underneath there and having several stones to pull out wore me out. And so I have to come back and put the top stone back on another date. As mentioned previously, I was able to measure the weight of this top die stone, and it was 575 pounds. No wonder it was sinking further and further into the ground before I pulled it back up. The monument now was in place. It had been properly sealed with monument setting compound, and epoxy putty had been used to hold the two pieces together. The next thing that needed to be done was to clean it, particularly getting the dirt off the sides where it had been sunk in the ground for so long. After washing it, I sprayed it with D2 to clean off biological material, and you can see it's getting some of the brownish blush that appears once D2 has been applied. I scrubbed at it again, and again irrigated it with some water, and then applied another layer of D2. By a week later, the front of the stone was looking considerably better. Thanks for joining me on this journey. Please like this video, subscribe, share it with friends who may also be interested. Come back next time for the next stone being raised at Morley Cemetery in Nebraska.